Now, here's the thing. This video, it got me thinking.
You know the four elements in Avatar: The Last Airbender: water, earth, fire, and air, right? Those four separate elements overlap in some very special cases. Over the course of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, we have been introduced to some very creative applications of bendings. We learned that within the four elements are sub-elements of bending. Waterbending not only has healing, but also bloodbending, without a doubt one of the most gruesome and extreme forms of bending. Firebending has lightning and combustion bendings, and earthbending has lava and metal bending. Finally, airbending has flight and spiritual projection. Today we will be taking a deep dive into each of these forms of bending.
Hey guys, what's up? Now, this video here by CBR, it's a great video. I'll leave it in the description down below so you can watch the whole thing after this, right? I've got some thoughts. Cue the intro. What's up? Welcome back, alright? See, I've had a theory for a while. And I guess this kind of sparked a little extra something. Let me hear what you think about it, alright? We're going to watch this together, and we're going to discuss.
Water is the element of change. The people of the water tribes are capable of adapting to many things. They have a sense of community and love that holds them together through anything. This is perhaps why water is the most versatile element of the four elements. Even in its main form, waterbenders have made scalding steam and freezing water. Katara and Aang have shaped the clouds in the sky. Water is one of the most abundant resources on the planet, next to air, so it would make sense that it has the most uses. When it comes to sub-element bending, water wins in terms of how many different types of water bending there are. In this first section, we are going to go over blood bending, healing, and spirit bending. Let's start with the most talked about and easily the most brutal form of bending in the entire Avatar franchise, blood bending.
Blood bending, alright? Now this is where the idea begins, alright? Pay close attention, and I'll cut in when the part reaches.
Bending was first introduced in Avatar: The Last Airbender during the episode The Puppet Master, where the gang meet Hama, a kindly old waterbender with more than a few secrets. Years before, when Hama was young, she lived in the Southern Water Temple and was taken during one of the Fire Nation raids. Hama was taken to a high-security prison meant to hold waterbenders. She described her experience to the gang and talks about how they would chain her up in order to give her water to drink and used cruel retribution at any sign of resistance. Without going...
Alright? Now here's the spot. Hana, very powerful waterbender. And from the moment we were introduced to this character, something just seemed off. Alright? I guess this is where this theory first began, molding itself in my mind. What if Aang getting frozen through the Avatar timeline outer order a little bit? See, think about it. Aang got frozen at 12 years old. 100 years later, he was thawed out and still the Avatar. 100 years had passed, and he was still the Avatar. What if that wasn't meant to happen? What if he was supposed to be dead by that point, and maybe 2 generations should have passed by, or 1 generation should have passed by, whatever. And there was meant to be another Avatar. A little waterbender from the Southern Water Tribe. Much like Korra became, So, say Aang lived to his regular age, let's say 50 or so. If you look at Hana, right? How old would you say she is? Maybe, grand's age. So, I would say maybe 60, 70. Right? Aang lived, till he was, about 30, 40 before he died. So, if you think about it, That would be the age around when Hannah was born, right? I'm just saying, what if Hannah was meant to be the avatar of her time? And the whole blood bending thing that she discovered was meant to be an evolution of bending led by the avatar. See, if you think about it, blood bending kind of seems like it fits, but it's dark in the whole water bending thing, timeline and usage and all that, right? But if you pay attention to it, it's not so weird from the other form of bending, that the water benders use. Healing. I mean, the blood is, one of the main forms, main ways to detect illnesses in the body. If your blood is unhealthy, you are unhealthy. If your blood is dirty, you are, going to be sick. So, blood bending could have been an evolution of the whole water bending healing thing. And think how much more potent a healer someone could be if they can, affect the subtle and minute, cells in your blood itself. What disease could survive an onslaught if you learn to master that skill? I'm just saying. And if it was led by the avatar, maybe, wouldn't have been taken on such a dark route. Let's go on.
Into too much detail, it was a straight-up concentration camp for waterbenders. It was a kids' show, so they couldn't use the words concentration camp, but that's what it was. Despite all the precautions the Fire Nation took to break both her spirit and her body, Hana still found a way to connect with her waterbending. Under the power of the full moon, she was able to amplify her powers. Even in her weakened state, she learned to control the blood inside rats' bodies to practice this new dark technique in bloodbending. By taking control of the fluids in one's body, she is able to control their movements. She started with the rats in her cage and soon became powerful enough to do it to the guards keeping her prisoner. When she escaped the prison, she found a small village to live in just outside of the Fire Nation archipelago and swore revenge. You don't survive a Fire Nation prison where you are regularly deprived of water and beaten and not swear revenge.
Alright. Now that's the thing. She went down a dark road. Now, I know what you're saying. That means, she had darkness inside of her. Or maybe going through such a, tormenting state of, imprisonment. She was primed to go down a dark road. But if you think about it, Rava, right? The spirit of good or light that's in every avatar. It has to have some influence. And if you think about it, that could explain why every avatar, goes down the route of protecting mankind or picking up their destiny, and or even if they rebel against their destiny, they still have this innate goodness in the way they do things and the way they behave. That has to be the influence of Rava inside of them. If Hannah had that, I'm pretty sure she'd have been a really good person. And any, thoughts of thinking outside the box and all that and improving herself and her abilities, I'm thinking that would have worked out for the betterment of mankind. Just a thought. And if you like the idea of this and want to, continue down the road, feel free to like this video. Depending on the interest I see here, I'll continue the series and continue talking about this idea, because, you see, this has evolved into something bigger in my mind. I mean, there's an entire storyline as to how this all leads back to Rava and, of course, Vatu, right? Her brother, evil, other half, whatever you want to call it. See, I think this whole thing, and if the makers of Avatar out there ever get to see this video, I'm saying this would be amazing. The whole thing could have been Vatu's behind the scenes plan to finally get back at Rava. After all this time of imprisoning him, she has free reign over the world right now. He's trapped. I mean, he can still reach out his thoughts and sense the darkness in mankind's heart, but, I mean, I'm just saying. Alright, so like this video, please. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so we can you know, let you know when another video is coming out. All right. Well, once again, I'm Teddy. These have been my thoughts. Teddy's thoughts. Again, video in the top of the description if you want to go watch the whole thing. And till next time, we'll continue on from right here in this video as well next time. So yeah, peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and share it with everyone, you know, so we can get some eyes on it. Also, hit that notification bell because, YouTube.